Welcome, Bud.
Hey.
I'm glad to have you with us. It's going to make my presentation a lot easier if I don't have to relay what you say from WhatsApp onto Teams. So this is a good thing. All right, listen, it is 1 o'clock on the West Coast of Canada here. So we're going to kick this thing off. I'm going to share my screen and just do my my standard little housekeeping bit now that our feature presenter is actually here. We're super happy to actually have with us Faraz Shaikh, who's going to be talking about report automation with Office Scripts and Power Automate. But before we do that, I'm going to give you the regular lowdown of this stuff. So here is where we are. We're at 1, and we'll be into the feature presentation in about 5 minutes. The first thing I always like to do, of course, is to go and thank the sponsors. SkillWave, which is my training company that I run with Matt Allington, is the title sponsor for what we do here. If you have not checked out our training materials, you should definitely do that. Excel Guru is the parent company of SkillWave, and Monkey Tools is a software that I write in order to make your data modeling experience better and faster. And got lots of cool stuff being developed in that area. Our next meetup that we have coming up, please note that it is on a different day than our normal stuff. We usually do Thursdays, but we are welcoming Jason Cockington to our program. This is going to be the first time that we've had him here. He's going to be talking about how to show or hide a Power BI visual based on selection. That is going to be on Monday, March 27th. So just remember that. It's not going to be on a Thursday, although we are starting at our standard 5 p.m. Pacific time. For our Excel track, well, you know what? Who's going to be here is a surprise. We will just have to wait and hold on to that one, but we will have a presentation coming up in April. Every SkillWave or every SkillWave hosted, every Vancouver Power BI and Modern Excel user group meetup is recorded, and we actually post these up to the SkillWave YouTube channel. You can find the link here. It is in the slide deck, which has already been posted on the Meetup site. And once it actually goes live, I will post on Meetup to let everybody know that it is accessible. So that usually takes me between 24 and 48 hours to get those produced and ready to go. If you're looking for some quick hits of some good information, you should check out our Monkey Shorts video where I share some, pretty quick tips, less than 3 minutes of technical content. We've got a few different episodes here that you can check out around column profiling and sorting and slicer formatting tricks, and you can check out the full playlist down the bottom there. So free bite-sized training. There is the monkey indeed, Mark. Absolutely. The last thing that I want to mention here is that we are always looking to recruit new speakers for our meetups here. If you are interested in sharing cool stuff that you do in Excel or Power BI or anything that actually ties into the data analysis stack that goes with our Microsoft products, we would love to hear from you. Please fill out the form at speak@VanPUG here at excelguru.ca, and we will get in touch with you and get you on our stage. And that is my bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one off here and throw this back to welcome our feature presenter. Faraz, are you ready, my friend, to show us some cool stuff around Office Scripts and Power Automate? Are you ready to unmute yourself? That's better. There we go. Awesome.
No, absolutely, Ken. I'm really excited, and first of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And wow, it's lovely. It's 12 a.m. over here, and as you said, it's an afternoon in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's 12 a.m. where you are.
Yes, right now it's 12 a.m.
You're amazing. Why are you still up? What I do at 12 a.m. is I sleep. Like that's what I do. Period. Unless I'm flying somewhere ridiculous. But anyhow. No, listen. Great to have you here, and thank you for taking the time to do this in the middle of your night. We really appreciate it.
No, sir, it's my pleasure. And Ken is my mentor. And I'm really happy today. I'm here to present at Ken Meetup. So I'm a little bit nervous also, but I'm really equally I'm excited as well. So let me start with my presentation, and I hope everything goes well. I'm getting a driver update right now. I don't know why, so I'm not going to do any kind of update right now. So I'm going to make sure that my screen goes. Well, I hope you can see my screen, Ken, sir.
I can see your screen. Yes, okay. You are good.
Okay, can you see the PowerPoint presentation right now?
I can, yes.
Yes, perfect. Cool. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Vancouver Meetup. And I'm Faraz Shaikh. I'm a Microsoft MVP, MCD, Moss Master, and Excel expert. Just quickly showing you more about myself. I'm an innovative educator as well as an organizer for Saudi Arabia, Microsoft Excel and Power Platform Meetup. as well as I was an organizer for the one of the online international event, which was my data summit with my friend Elgar. And we have hosted this event, and we have more than 300 participants who have participated for this event. And my mission is with the community to provide them exciting solutions and make office application task easier for them. And equally from these meetups, I would love to meet people and share my knowledge and equally gain from everyone. So you can definitely follow me on my social media handles as well as TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. All these are available with Excel Exciting, and you can scan this QR code for the YouTube. So let me tell you where I'm coming from. Let's see from where are we connecting right now. So you can see all the way I'm here placed in Saudi Arabia in Dammam and all the way to Vancouver. I hope someday I'll come and meet my Guru Ken over there, inshallah, and hope that would be soon. And Saudi Arabia, just short, I can say, brief about Saudi Arabia. It's a very beautiful country. We have lovely deserts over here. And it's not only about deserts, but we have some amazing places as well. You can see in Dammam, Riyadh, and Jubail is the largest industrial city, by the way, in the world, which is a petrochemical largest industrial city in the world. So I'm working in this area, largest industrial city. Right. So let's quickly know each other. Just a short survey. If you can quickly scan it, and I'll put it in the chat. This one. I hope I can open the Teams here. Because I'm afraid right now to touch anywhere on the Teams. I don't want to lose you guys. So I just put a short survey. You can just fill that form, and then we can quickly head up to the demo as well. And more about a demo will be like I'll be explaining you about the Office scripts, and we'll be seeing how that Office scripts works as well. Wow. So I'll wait for a few seconds. And meanwhile, okay, so you can see my screen, right? It's showing E3 licensing Windows, right? You can see the Windows screen, right now.
We can, yes.
Perfect. So I need to be have it a little bit more interactive session, like I would just like to ask people, that how many of you are using the Office scripts and what are the challenges or are you using, are you not using them? So we can know each other better in that way. Let me see what is happening here. Okay, ask me later. Okay, so I don't remember my password. Forms, sorry. My form is not open yet. Okay, so we got some responses over here. Lovely, nice to see. People are working on Power Query, and somebody is working Power Automate as well of Office script. I know the yes, one person will be definitely Ken sir, and VBA. Great, great. So I just wanted to have a quick idea, about the audiences we have it today, and so the people who don't know, Power Automate is an TypeScript language uh, which has been developed by Microsoft, and Microsoft is it has been used in Office 365 application. So basically, it is for the business users. You will not find it in your home subscription. So if you are unable to find this Automate tab, which you can see over here right now, whenever you open an Excel Online for your business, that time you should be able to see this Automate tab over here. So this automate tab is like what we have a developer tab exactly in Excel on the desktop version. Let me show you over here. So this is a developer tab, and exactly, we have the same like an automate tab. Now, this automate tab is also released for the desktop version also, but today I'll try to make it more on an online version so we can take the advantage and see that how that online version can help us. So we will try to mix it up a little bit of Power Query and see what we can do on this one. So here, basically, I'm looking for my blank sample sheet. Let me open this. So today, what I'll be showing you that how can we record a script and how can we do the changes with the script, having a very basic knowledge about this application and studying with the help of some study material from the Office Script website from Microsoft Learn documentation. So Office Script is new. It is new to the business in the Excel. But there are some great stuff in Microsoft Learn where you can learn and you can explore it more. So basically, my profession is by profession I'm a supply chain guy in logistics, and I would just like to know in the chat, how many are you from logistics over here in right now in the meetup? Please feel free to unmute and you can just tell me. And so today, what I would just like to show it to you is one of the scenario what we have over here. Now, have you come across an Excel workbook where you have a data like this, where you have around how many columns we have right now? So we have around like 45 columns of data. Have you come across something like this ever? Just let me know in the chat. Accountant, okay, science, okay, great. So we have from different professions. That's really nice. So have you come across like this kind of a table? Please feel free to unmute and talk to me. I would really love to hear from you. A lot of columns, yeah. Consultant, that's nice. Mine is 52 columns. Oh, bam. But this business solution, this is actually a real business case which I'm presenting right now, where one of the industry is maintaining such kind of an information, and they have like data coming from their SAP, and then there is some manual information is being feeded, and then there is a manual intervention of different departments, as you can see over here, all users and warehouse, logistics, buyer, and requisitioner who has requested for the material. Now, usually this kind of a tracker is helpful when there are a lot of people are working on a project, on a certain expediting of a delivery. So we are going to see how we are going to take the help of the information using Power Query and with some Office script, and we can build our solution with this one. Works similar, but simpler time getting worse. Okay, so I'll be checking the chat not much frequently on my screen, but I'll be just letting you know that this is a system data. What I would just like to show to you that this is the system data what we have. Basically, whenever they are extracting, this is a logistics information. Somebody is maintaining it in the ERP, their ERP, this information and the status is that who is an expediter and who is doing do the follow-up. All this information is stored in one sheet. Now, this sheet, whenever it comes up, you need to update this two information in this tracker, as you can see over here, the expediter and the status, as you can see over here. Now, just to cut short it, I'll just go to another sheet, which will just shorten up the information. And this is how exactly it would look like. It would look like the project name, the user department, the requisitioner, the material code, material text, and the buyer and the order number. So since I am from logistics, I am more interested in my part of area where updating the information of expediter. Now, most of the people, they told me that that for us that why can't we do it with Power Query? Now, there are ways to handle it with Power Query, but the best solution which fits for this kind of an activity, I found it that mixture of Power Query and Office script really helped me a lot. And by this way, I didn't recommend that, okay, this could be sorted out with the Power Query. So here, as of now, you can see that this is a table which we have it right now. And this again, it has the information which has been manually fed up. Now, just imagine that you have this data and suddenly you got another update in after 5 minutes and you need to update it. Okay, so you'll say, okay, for us, Power Query is the best solution. You just put it over it. But I can't use in this case of Power Query. So what I would be doing, I will use Power Query, but I would use it in a very different way. Okay, using with some classic Excel formulas, and we will see. I'll not open all the surprises now. So we'll just walk through it and see. So far, any questions are there? As a planner, I pull a lot of data from SAP. Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't think there's any questions for us. I just got to say, I think Power Query is the best solution, buddy. Come on.
Yeah,
And
but
you knew
I
I was
think
going to say that.
yes, I do. But I said, Ken sir, you will agree after showing you the solution, how it works with the Office script. You will definitely love it.
I'm game. Convince me.
Okay, sir. Okay, so now, so this is a file which is there. We have this data, and what we need to do, we need to pull this file over here. So right now, Power Query for the web is not available. But what I'll be doing it, I'll be simply opening this into the desktop. So as you can see that you can open your, right now I'm on the web version, and this was so smooth that see it's open immediately on my desktop version as well. So what I'll be doing over here is I'll be going to go to data, get data from SharePoint folder. So basically I need to push the path which is over here. So I'll be just taking this path of home site, copy, and I'll be coming here, paste, and this should work. It should connect. Now we are trying to connect our uh, SharePoint to the Excel. Then let's go and connect. I need to make sure that I log in with my credentials to get connected over there. Ask later. Okay, so now it will go and connect to SharePoint, my home site, which is there. And from there, we are going to connect to this document library, which is for Vancouver Power BI and Modern Excel group. So let's come here and see I have the other directories also, which is there has been came up over here. I'm going to go and call transform data. Let's maximize this. And I would be interested in Vancouver one. So I'll copy Command C. Okay, I'm using Mac. So Mac, that's why you can hear me saying Command C. It's Control C, Control V. So right now there were two different paths were there. One was for the Bulgaria and one was now for the Vancouver. So I'm just interested only in the Vancouver one. And from the Vancouver one, I would be just pulling the information from the update one. So as Cancer always says, you have to make sure that you have to always make your queries a bulletproof. So what I'll be doing over here is I'm just going to transform it, and I'm going to format and make it in lowercase. So I know that, okay, my updates will be, this file name will be always update. So in case if somebody stores a file with a shorter name, small name, lowercase, I'll not have any problem. So now once I have this table, I click over here, and I'm going to do one of the most amazing and most wonderful transformation and most crucial one, use first rows as headers. So that was the Power Query stuff which we have done. Now, another thing which I would always love to do is I would always love to give my tables names. I would always love to give them a correct name, call it by correct name, TBL. So let me come here, TBL underscore system underscore data. So I just like to call this query as TBL under system data, and this should load it into a new sheet. Perfect. So we have this sheet over here. It's pulling that data, and it should be here anytime. Perfect. So this is the data what I need always. So now let's say that when we go to this sheet of update and somebody change the status to this to delivery completed. Okay, and let me see. come here, right click. So this was the one which we changed it. And now when we refresh it, I hope I have connected the correct one. Okay, I need to close that from here. Okay, so I'll close this. So basically that is connected and it should take few seconds to refresh. We go there, refresh. Yeah. So as you can see that it has changed the status delivery completed. Now, such kind of a file which is get coming out from ERP and every time if somebody cannot go and manually change the statuses. So this will just go and update the information. So let's come back over here. So we first got that SAP or we got that system information and we put it into our one Excel workbook. And then we are going to come here on the tracking report. Now this tracking report, let's go and deal with Excel Online. Let me close it from here. And let me come here and resume editing over here. And this is a table system data. Now these all informations, as you can see, this is manually feeded. This has been pulled from the system and been put over here. This has been manually feeded by the buyer. This is manually feeded by the logistics guys. Now, the first thing what I'll do, I'll just convert this data into a proper Excel table. So I'll come over here, insert, and I call this as a table. And yes, my table has headers. Now I'm going to come to table design and I'm going to say simple one, I'm just going to remove all the borders, none, because I like the style what I have prepared it over here. And we will call this as TBL underscore tracker. Okay, you will find Victor because Victor is my friend from Nigeria. Last meetup in Nigeria I was giving, so I was using his name. And now as you can come, as now you have seen, you came across this list. Now it is in tables. Now you must have seen that these are the cells which are merged now. So if I try to create a table from here, it's going to break that merging. But I need this merging so that when somebody is working in his interested part, he would just keep that information open. And they know that, okay, fine, this specific column entry is for them. Like a planner will do it, this will be the buyer will be doing it, and the warehouse and so on. Now, I'd just like to show you one simple trick over here. Let's say that we have this delivery completed over here. And we would like to highlight every time whatever is coming as a delivery completed. So let's say that when I select this column, I'm going to select this entire range. In fact, this entire table. See how it is easy to select it when you're selecting it with Excel tables. And I'll going over here in conditional formatting. And I'll be going here new rule. And in this new rule, I'm going to go with the formula. And I'll be saying this as a green one because we wanted to highlight whatever is delivery completed. Uh, we need to highlight it into green color. Okay. So let me come over here and say that if this cell is equal to delivery completed, done. So as you can see, there's no action happened yet. But what we can do over here, come here, edit, because it's going to go and see only the cell J3. We wanted to make sure that it goes down. So we are just going to remove the $sign from there and done. And as you can see, it has highlighted the delivery completed. So whenever we are updating some kind of a statuses over here, so I can quickly identify that, okay, this is our the delivery completed one. So there should not be any problem. So right now we are still building our sheet, so that we can really work on it. So far, any questions? You still need Power Query. Yes, of course you need Power Query, but you need as well as Office scripts in such cases. So any questions so far?
Don't see any for us.
Great. So I assume that so far everything is good and we can go on. Now we are moving ahead now with the script now. Now, of a script automate button, it has a record option, it has a new script, and whatever the scripts you are creating, you can see the most recent scripts can be appeared over here. So if I say all scripts, it will give me the list of all the scripts, and you can see still more scripts when you click over here in your file, whatever you have created. Okay, so if it is stored on your OneDrive, or if it is stored on your SharePoint folder, you can pull that information from there as well. So there are some samples also. You can definitely look at these samples. You can later on explore it, where it has some insights where you can take the knowledge and you can apply it to this workbook. So if you need to create a new script, you just click on new, and this is like an hardcore script which is going to come over here. So we are not going to do that right now. So I'm just going to discard that. So we are going to do is that we want to record the script by updating the status. Now, how are you going to update this status? Any idea on this? Let me delete this first. Any idea? The reason why I pulled the system data is over here. So what I'll be doing basically over here is I'm going to write a formula, and I'm going to pull this information from the status column and bring it over here. This is you can say a frequent update which has been done, and on a regular intervals it has been done. So first what I need to do is I need to select this column, I need to delete it, I need to go and delete all this, and then come here, then write the XLOOKUP formula, and then pull that information all the way from there. So can you help me out with the XLOOKUP formula over here? Now, before I go and jump and create an XLOOKUP formula, I just wanted to show you something over here. So if you can see this order number 64 743, it is having different statuses. It has a follow-up, ongoing, and it has delivery completed. So let's say if I go and say XLOOKUP, look up this order, comma, look up this order in this system data. So let's pause. Thank you so much. And this is my order number, comma, and my return would be the status. Now enter. Let's try it again. XLOOKUP. My lookup number is this, comma, and my system data, it would be going with the orders, comma, and my return value will be this, comma. If nothing is there, then put it as a blank. So yes, see, we got that blank value. So basically, you can see that yes, this information is not there. It can't be possible. What is going wrong with this? Okay, now what had happened? Now I got it. The thing what had happened over here in the Power Query, this has turned into a number. And here what we have it is it's in the text format. So what we need to do basically is that we can just go to Power Query. Okay, there are two ways. Either you change the formula over here and turn it into a value, or you just go into Power Query and turn that stuff into a text one. So I would prefer to go back into Power Query and change it to as a text. Let's come here, enable editing. Yes, this is a trusted file. Come here. Let's go to query design, query, edit. So this is one thing which is very important when we do lookups.
I just did tell Sergio about that.
Let's make it this as a text. Replace the current step. Save. Okay, perfect. So now we should. Yes, so now we got this formula. So let's close this from here. Unfortunately, right now we don't have the Power Query editor online right now. So once we have this, we don't need to go to the desktop. We can just manage the show from here. So as you can see, when I put an XLOOKUP function, I got this result. But you can see the status is incorrect over here. Now, when you come to the system data over here, the status says follow-up ongoing and something for ready for dispatch over here for this order. And we have multiple different statuses for each material code. So in this case, now you need to use a combination of order number and material code to get this correct status, right? So let us try to create that combination. So let's go again over here. And let's come here, X lookup. Now lookup value is my order number, ampersand, my material code, comma. When I'll come here, my system data, in this case, my lookup value will be also order number, ampersand, and then the material code, comma, and the return array will be the statuses. Close, enter. Now you can see that this is going to give me the correct one. So I'm getting every item information correctly been updated over here. So this is the formula which we'll be using it and we'll be adding it to our Office script. Now let's run the Office script. So yeah, that's a unique key. Perfect. Ismail. Yes, we need to have that unique key to identify that one. So let's go to the automate option and let's record the script. Okay, so once I click on record the script, okay, so now if you have seen, I have created some my table, I have made the homework and I have made it ready to write my script easily. So once I come on record script, you get this record option. And as soon as I select this column, first thing what I will do is just select this column, nothing happened. But as soon as I press delete, you can see it has showed cleared the option. Now what I need to do, I need to add that same Excel formula equals to X lookup. Now that X lookup formula which was there, we were said that okay, order number, ampersand, the material code, comma, and then we will go back to our table, system table data, which is there. Again, the order number, ampersand, the material code, comma, and the return would be the status. And if it is not there, we'll say this as a blank one. Enter. So we got all that status updated. Now, similarly, we will do it for the expediter as well. We will select this column and delete that range. And what we will be doing is we'll use the formula called XLOOKUP. Again, the material code, ampersand, the order number, ampersand, then come here, system table, order number, ampersand, material code, comma, and follow up close parentheses. No, let's put it as a blank and then put it as a close parentheses. Now over here, I accidentally put it as a status, but here what we will do is we will say it as an expediter. I can select that, enter, and we got that expediter one. Okay. So as you can see, as I'm creating the code, it is getting updated and it has been written over here. Now, once I select this, I would just like to go home, copy, and paste this as a values, because later on I don't need anybody to come and touch the statuses, because this statuses need to be, because everybody is manually feeding this information. So this status, I don't need to keep it dynamic. So right now and same way I can put it for expediter. So right now I'm going to just stop it and let's go and see what the code is created over here. I'm going to call this as a van meetup. Okay, so I'm going to call this as a van meetup. I can give the rename my script from here. Now you can see there are some other options which we will look, where you can even share the script within your organization if somebody is working on the script. and you can delete the script, you can rename it, you can save as script as a text, or where you would like to save it in a location, you can put it in that way. And we will try to also explore this automate button also at the end. Let's go click and edit. Now, this is lot of code. I know this is lot of code. When I was working first time when I was trying to prepare this solution, there was a lot of challenges for me to understand the code and to make sure that, okay, I'm doing it correctly. So now what we will be doing over here is just a minute. Okay. So first thing, what we will be doing over here, since this code now, whenever any function has been written, the main function which has been written, it is starting with the main function, and then this is an API for Excel script.workbook, which is the API which calls all that functions in the workbook. So now if you see that it says that select sheet, which is get the active worksheet, and then you have the range, which is selecting that range, and then we have this XLOOKUP formula, which is being set up over here. Now, let me come back over here and let me do some changes to the script over here. So first thing what I do is, instead of calling it as selected sheet, I would like to call this as a tracking sheet. So what I'll do, I'll just go right click and rename, and I'll be called this as a tracking sheet. Now, as soon as I hit enter, now remember all the occurrence wherever it is showing selected sheet will be changed to tracking sheet. So as you can see over here, it is called as a tracking sheet now. Now, this workbook get the active worksheet. Now, we are not interested in getting the active worksheet uh, because tomorrow, if my active worksheet is this, then it's going to run this code on this sheet, which will be going to give me a wrong information. And somehow I need to go to this sheet and call this Excel table, which is over here. This is my Excel table, which we have created. We call this as a table tracker. So when I was looking some documentation of Microsoft, I found this dot get something called workbook, worksheet, which is there. And in that worksheet, when I just opened the parentheses, I found the string. Now this found me really interesting that it can be either the sheet number, or it could be the ID, or it could be the string. Now in this case, our sheet is the tracking report. So what I will do, I'll just simply copy this from here. I'll come here and I'm going to say this is my sheet. Perfect. So we are, and you can save the script from here. And let me just comment the script from star here. And let's go tell star here. OK. Now, if you try to run this script, yes, this is going to work fine. But as the data will get expand, the range will get expand, it is going to blow up. It's not a bulletproof solution. So we want to make sure that it's a dynamic and it's working fine. We don't have any issues with that. We don't have any errors. So let's come down. And what are we going to do? We are going to go. Have you heard about something called, once you are on this sheet and when you're trying to work on the VBA, have you noticed that there is a way where we can call this sheet? We can open up the sheet, fire up the sheet. Any comments in the chat? Anybody who's using VBA? They can just give me something. What can we do? If you need to go and open up this sheet, what is the function we are calling it up? So
You got one comment for go to sheet. I would usually go with activate.
Yes, absolutely right, Cancer. So we are going to go call tracking sheet dot activate. So once I activate this sheet, now it doesn't matter how many sheets are open over here, or how many sheets are there in your workbook. It's going to go and call this tracking report only. So let's go and test it out, run. And as you can see, it has fired up the tracking sheet, which is over here. Now, the another challenging part is for us, since it is now activated now. So far everything is going good. We have activated that sheet. Now we need to reach somewhere in this table. We need to reach somewhere in this status column. So any guesses, any idea that how we can manage to go there, or anything? Can somebody help me out? Can somebody tell me, share their ideas or something? Feel free to share it to me. I'll be really happy to hear. I'm still checking the chat and waiting for somebody to reply. Okay, I'll come back. Yes, absolutely right. Table object. That is a good one. So what we are going to do is here, we are going to call this again. We are going to say that, okay, come here, back tracking sheet. In this tracking sheet, which we are going to call is the table, right? So let's look something related to table. When I started working on this, I looked at it in this way. I see something called get table. So this is an object which I can call. Now, when I again open brackets, I got this string key. Okay, that's made my job very easy. So again, I go to this table design and I go to this table tracker. So right now, my code which is there, it is pointing out to this tracker, TBL tracker. Now, in this TBL tracker, would there be a way I can reach to this status column? Would that be any possibility? So let's go and put again dot and say get something called column. So I can see over here there is something called get column. So once I click on get column, and again when I open the parentheses, again I got the status. Perfect. So I can go and I can copy the status, copy, and come here, both and paste it. Okay, so what we have did, we went to this table and we said that in this table, find the status column. Now we are in the status column. Now this status column, we need to find the range. Now, the beauty of having it in Excel tables, as soon as the range get expanded, I don't need to worry about this. Now, why I'm working on the range, as you can see over here, I3 to J22. So basically it is taking two of them, but we are going to look only the J1. Okay. So let's say that it goes over here, I3 to J22, and we need to get that range. I just need to know the information between this. So again, what we will do over here, we will say get range, get header row, get range between. So this is something sounds interesting to me. Get range between header and total. So if you're using Excel table and if you activate the total, so we know that between header, so it is from here to here. So this is an interesting one. So I don't need to worry about going count, leave the blank, ignore the blank. This is my last. So I can just simply go get the range between header and this dot, and I'll say get address. So this I got it from the Microsoft documentation page only, that you can get the address in this way. Now this address which is there, which will give me the range of this. Now how can I know that this whatever the range has been returned is the correct one? How can we know that? So there's a thing called console.log. Now in console.log, I'll be calling, now this I'll put it into a variable called let. I'll be calling this as my column. I'll call this as my column name underscore name. Column range I would call this, because this is a range, right? Column range, and I'll call this as column column range over here. Okay, and semicolon, and let's save the script. Now, so far, everything, I hope everything goes well. Let's run the script. And you can see over here, it says J3 to J22, J3, which is over here. And this is that range between that one. So let's say that if I add another data over here, let's say 21. So it has expanded. Now let's see, it should go and update and J23. Perfect. So this is the range what we basically need. Now, coming back over here, let me go and delete this. Delete the row. And let's come over here. Since we got this range, now somewhere I saw in my query, if you, in my code, which I have seen it, because before I started preparing this code, I have seen this code, what it is doing. So see, it is saying that get this copy and these all steps it is performing. So somewhere I need to get this J3 dynamic value, J3, which is there. Now, how will I get to that J3 dynamic value? So far we have reached to that one. And we need to get the first column name. Okay, so first column, this one, row, which is over here, J3. So let's come here, and again we can say let, and we'll call this as first row. Maybe somebody can also let me know that if there is anything better, we can do it. So I'll call this as a tracking sheet, tracking sheet dot get table. Again, I'm going to go and say that, okay, go to that TBL tracker. And this TBL tracker, we are going to copy it from here, come here. And now this time, again, we'll come here to the status column. We are here to the status column, which is over here. Now this time when I come again over here, I have these options over here. Something called range. If I put range, I'm getting these options. Get header row range, get range, get total range. So I have just selected the header row range. Header row range means this one. So once I click that header row range, so let's go and put it into dot get address. Okay. And then put it again back into the console, and let's see that what it repeats to us. Console log is very helpful, when you want to debug it. And let's run and see what is happening over here. So it is coming to G2. Now we need that to come over here, right, on this specific row, so that I can push my formula over there. Right. So let's come over here. And first, which is over here, console log, which is over here. We need to move it one step down. So what I can do, again, come back over here and press a dot, and something should call, we have heard called offset. So once I offset, I need to offset one row and 0 columns. Right. And now when I try to get address, colon, enter. And now when I run, perfect. So I got that J3 range and I got that tracking report J3 also. So now my things are working fine. So let me put it like this: FIRST first row, and then we put it as the first row. So this looks nice to me. So far, any questions is there? So let me check in the chat. I wanted a code. Okay, something. The script is stored in our personal OneDrive when we share it with other people. That would contain some. It does all script used to. No, only what is being shared from you that has been done here. This is something totally different. Office scripts are actually TypeScript and JavaScript. Maybe something between VB and Power Automate. That's nice. So let's run. Let's continue with the demo. Okay, so we got now. Now what I'll be doing is that whatever has been created over here, Okay. I'm just going to copy this tracking sheet from here, cut, and come here and paste it over it. Now you can see this range which was there, J3, which was this one. This one we need to delete it, right? So what I will do is I need to put this column range. So I can just simply copy this column range, come here, and I can replace it with this and put it as a column range. So this have become dynamic right now. So this part has been done now. So once if I run this code now, so what it will happen, it will just go and it is going to clear this one. What is the next step we have did it? So next step what we did was we have this one, but here it has copied the entire formula. So here we just need the formula for X lookup, which is over here. So what we can do, we can try to build this thing again. Okay, so let's try to build this thing again and let's save this and let's go again, record, automate, go to automate, and let's come here equals to X lookup. I can come here and say equals to X lookup. And oh no, because we need to clear this out first. Clear, and we'll say X lookup. Lookup value is my order number, ampersand, the material code, comma, the status which is there. Let's move this guy from here. Ampersand, and then the material code, comma, and then we have the statuses. If it is not there, then put it blank, enter. So we got this one. Now let's stop this one. Enter. Now this is the formula. Now in that for range, what is there? What you saw was a different piece of formula, but it was a correct one. But I would just like to show it with the one which is there. If you see over here, it is setting up between I3 and J3, means between these two columns. But we are right now interested in only doing it the one column. So that's why I've changed this one. And you know that this has been selected sheet. So we'll change it to tracking sheet. And J3 is nothing but the first row, which I'll replace it from here. And call this as a first row. Perfect. So now once I completed this one, let's save this part. So far everything is looking fine for me. Let's try to run it up. Okay. And I'm just going to delete this everything from here and let's try to run it. Okay. So let's see if everything is going well. Fine. Perfect. So far everything is gone well. Now the same thing, what is there, we need to apply it for the for this expediter sheet also, right? What I can do is I can just copy this. Initially, I did this, uh, that I copy this entire stuff, okay, came here, came down, and just came here and changed the statuses to expediter, which I have repeated the code. But there is a better way to do it in this one. Is that we can create a sub function and we can call to that to this main function. So what we will do right now is we will just go to this 1 minute. Let me see. Let me copy this from here. Command X, and let's come here and let's call this function. It would be in the same way how it has been written on the top. We will take it. Function, and then we are going to paste it. And here I'll be again putting this as the workbook. But here, what I'll be calling here is just a minute. We'll be calling this as a column name because we need to give a column name. So I'll be calling this as a col name. And this should be a string. Oops. Just a minute. I'm really sorry about this. Okay, let us try to do it in that way only. Let's try to fix it in that way first and see how this would work. Okay. Let's go undo, Control Z. Come here. Okay. So we got this everything back. So we can just comment it over here. Okay, and this time we don't need column range. We can say column range. Again, TBL tracker, but this time we need to define that name again. Okay. Let's say copy this. And this one is from the first one. This has been completed. Let's come here. So we know what we are doing. Column range. Now, if you see that column range is coming up again, so I'm going to say that is true. And instead of TBL tracker status, I'll be just calling this as an expediter one, which is over here, expediter. Let's copy this and let's come here, paste it over here. And again, once we come to the first row of the 2-1, the second one, again, I'll change it to expediter over here. And this is first row 2, and this is console log also 2. Somebody is asking me to give the control, but sorry, right now I'm presenting, so I can't give you the control. And same way for the expediter one also over here. So let's save the script and let's see how the script goes then. Okay, one more thing which was there, which we missed it out is here, is we need to get that, we need to paste the range as a values over here. So that was also one of the important part. So let's come here, enter J3, and we are going to call this as first row, and J3 to J12. This one is, let's go and call this as column range. Okay, so this will paste as a value. So similarly, we'll copy this and we're going to put it into this one. This is going to be 2. And again, this will be also as a 2. Perfect. So let's go and see how these things work. clear it out. Let's run. Perfect. Okay, so now somewhere it is clearing it out the entire part. So we have to see the range where it is clearing it out. Okay, so here it is column range 2, which has been clearing up. Two and column range 2. So this is coming up first row and expediter. And then again, it's going to. So we need to debug something, we need to check it out, what is the reason, why it has been clearing it out. But now, as you can see, okay, so it is clearing out somewhere the status. So I need to go and again check and debug the code, what is happening, why it is clearing it out. Basically, the first row, it should be expediter. Yes, this is an expediter, which is there, column range 2. And this is clear column range. Yes, see, it is selecting this range. Okay, I have not updated over here. So this will be 2. That's the reason this is happening. Now, when we run the code, inshallah, this time it should work fine. Yes, yes. Because it has highlighted that one. So that's the reason it was deleting it and it was not able to. So now, as you can see, this informations are updated over here. Oops, an error occurred. Why? Oh my God. I hope my script is saved. Good, it is saved. Okay, so let's run and see whether it's working fine. It gave me a mini heart attack. Okay, so everything is working fine. Now, this code, which is there, Van Meetup. Now, this is the code which I would need it every time my script to run it out, and we need to whenever we have some new update or new statuses. So let's go to the sheet over here for update. And let me change some statuses to delivery completed over here. And let me change to ready for collection, ready for under production will be changed to order on hold. Okay, something like this. And this one is delivery completed. And this one also delivery completed. These are the statuses which we have updated right now. And what we would do is that, again, we'll go to edit. We'll go open desktop. Okay, and what we can do is data, and we can just go right click and refresh this query. So I have the new status has been updated over here. So still updating in the background. Perfect. So these status, the new statuses are updated. Now these same statuses need to get updated over here. So what we will do, we can even try it from here. Meetup. I have not tried much on using it on the desktop, but I hope it should work fine. And I can just run this one. So I think that has not got updated somewhere. The range 2, first row 2, where we have, see, this was not got updated over here because I didn't save the script up over there. So that's the reason. So let's run this one. Yeah, so as you can see, it ran and it has updated the information. Perfect. So once this all information, so let's say that you have got some new data, and when you try to push up some new data, and in that case also, when you are having this information, you can easily update it. So let's say that we have this some new information been added over here. So this is what had happened when somebody comes up with the sheet. They will update this information, and they will we will get the new information added over here. So this is very handy when we have some kind of an update which need to be done frequently. And by this way, using of Office script, you can manage to update your scripts and you can run them. So let's try to do it online. Again, let's go over here. Let's save resume editing over here. Correct. So we can come over here to the automate script. We can come to Van and latest published copy. So see, there was the sync issue was there. So it asked me which is the latest copy. I should take it of the code which was been amended. The part which was amended was this one, range one. Okay. So now let's come over here and look these functionalities which are over here. So let's say that I need to add a button. I can just simply add a button and this is a shape. So I can just move this shape anywhere. Okay, so as you can see, I can move it and I can keep it on my sheet over here. So even I don't need to go back to my automate page and I need to go and run it. I can just simply come here. I can click instead of Van update, I can say, can just come and select this shape and I can edit the text and say update report. And you can adjust the shape also, size and everything. Okay, so once you click on update report, we can see that the button is preparing and it's running that information. Cool. So it has updated some information for us. Now let's go. Let's come here over back over here to the folder. This folder, if you can see, I'm having these two files, update one and update two. So what I'm going to do, so whatever happens, what happens that when from your ERP, whenever the information is been getting updated over here, it's been overridden. So let's say that this was on first update, this becomes a second update. No, basically when they pull the information, they override the file. So we are just going to change this file name just for the convenience purpose. Okay, so I'm just going to say this -01 and now, and I'm going to say this rename and this is update and I'll call this as update one. So 02 is the latest version which we change it to update. So usually when they extract the information from any ERP, they override the file. So there is not called 1, 2, 3. This is just for the demo purpose. I have just put 1, 2, 3. So now if you can see over here, this has some statuses and let's come back over here. And this has been done because of the Power Query. We have it on online on the desktop. So I need to switch it up, right click. It doesn't take much time, but it saves tons of my time. Usually right now we have just 20 records, but when in real business case, there are around like 300, 400 records. And to look one by one and put their statuses and a lot of people are working at the same time, it becomes really difficult, to handle it in this way. So the script can really help, to understand, can really solve our problem, when we are working on this. So that's how it is. So we can see the view logs. So whatever the logs we have put it up, it is coming up over here. Great. Any questions so far? Ken sir?
No, I don't think so. I mean, some general comments just around the, the debugging experience and whatnot. I found an article out there where you can actually hook up Visual or VS Code to be able to actually do the debugging experience, because doing it inside the task pane is small, to put it mildly. But I think that's the only one that was really in there. So.
Great. Great. So how are we running with the time right now, Ken sir?
You know what? I mean, you can keep going if you've got stuff that you want to do. If people want to drop off, they can always come back and watch the recording later to see the end of it. So it's totally up to you.
Okay, so let's try to see something with Power Automate now, because that was the title also, that Office automation script with Power Automate also. So let's say that this script which you have created right now, resume editing over here, this is a script which we are working right now. Let me see, something is little different to me. Okay, see what I can see over here, all the statuses are not pasted as values, So let me go and record the script again. So it come here, record. So what we can do is select this column, go to home, copy and paste it as values. Okay, so let's stop this recording and let me see, edit. So this is basically how I do the debugging, when it comes to the sheets, whenever I make any kind of an error or mistake, you just go to that specific step. And this I really learned during the live demo when I was giving for Excel Days Bulgaria. So that time I learned this one. Okay, fine. If I'm having a problem on that specific line of code, let's go and build a new step and just copy that step from there. So in this case, we were facing problem for the range which is coming over here. Okay, so update expediter. This is the first row. This is clear the content. Okay, column range. Okay, tracking sheet. Yeah, so after this, we have to paste that. In fact, that was not updated at all over here. So let's come here, tracking, paste, and J3 is again the row one. This is one, and this is range, column range. And let's copy this and come here again down. Actually, there is a way we can do it with the function, but I really don't want it to anybody get confused. So again, you see, I'm getting this red line which is over here coming tracking sheet, and I'm going to say this as 2 also. So it should be a year also. I have to call this as a tracking sheet. Okay, so let's save the script and let's run now. And I hope that the formula should get wiped off. Yes, see, the formula is gone now. Let me remove this again. Delete and close this. And if you update it, it should work. But now let's try to call this script from Power Automate. Okay, so let's come to Power Automate. Let's come here home. Yes, I want to leave this page. Now, if you're new to the Power Automate screen, let me tell you that Power Automate is an awesome technology. I really love working on Power Automate, Office Scripts, Power Query, all the automation tools which is there. And Power Automate is one of my favorite one, after Power Query, I would say, not before Power Query. Of course, Power Query is always the first one. But here you can really automate your task. Let's say that you have this flow, you have the script which is there, and nobody is there to handle the script. Okay, so this data has been, the file has some new information been added. Now somebody have to update the report, but he's not able to find the report. So how can you manage to run the script on an interval basis? Okay, but right now we are not going to run it on interval basis. We are going to run it at one go. So just let me quickly explain you for those who are new over here, that automated cloud flow, instant cloud flow, and schedule and desktop flow. So automated is something that will take place automatically. Let's say that you receive an email which has a name for us, then in that case, it is an automated flow. The email receiving is an automated one. Now, instant is like at the same time you press the button and it start working. Schedule is that you give a certain time or certain day or a certain month of the day or week or on that specific date or time it would run. So desktop flow is like you are connecting it to the Power Automate desktop. That is the one. So mostly we use especially first 1, 2, 3. So now remember in Power Automate, what happens? It's always happen is a trigger, and then the actions will happen. So trigger is something like receiving email with attachment. These are triggers. Somebody posted a tweet on a Twitter. This is a trigger. This is a trigger which has happened. And after that trigger, then there are actions like after that trigger, what you have to do. So let's go and create an instant cloud flow. And I'm going to skip this. And then I will call run van meetup office script OS. Okay. So the flow button. Okay, so we can say this is a flow button. This is a manual one. So if you have any kind of an inputs, you can give any inputs, like it has text, yes, no. But we, in this, our case, we don't have any kind of an input right now. We just wanted to have it run manually once I click this one. So what should I do after this trigger has happened? I need to go to that Excel workbook. So let's go to the Excel. Now in this Excel workbook, remember that there are different connectors. There are multiple connectors. You can find the connectors over here. There are different types of connectors. Let me show it over here, all the list of the connectors. So right now I just select on Excel. So I just got Excel. Let's say there are standard, there are premium connectors. You can connect them and you can fetch the information. So let's say that, okay, let's say that we have this Excel Online for Business. Now, when I search for Excel, I'm getting Excel Online for Business and Excel Online for OneDrive. Now, remember, these two are different connectors. Business is different and OneDrive is different. This is for the personal one and this is for business licenses. Now, once I select business license, I can see something called script, script. Let's search, something happens. Yes, we have an option to run the script. Now what I will do, I will say run this script from where? So I need to get that location from my OneDrive, OneDrive for business or OneDrive for this is coming from where? Okay, yes, this is coming from all company groups. Okay, so if it is there, it would search for the document library. Let me go and search for the home site. All sites approval, SharePoint, home site, yes. In home site, we have this Vancouver, and in Vancouver, we have this of script, this file, and under this, we have the script which is over here. So we have all different other scripts which are there. So we are interested in looking Van Meetup. Okay, so let's say Van Meetup save. And then what we can do after this, once we are done with this, we can add a new step and say Outlook. Let's say that I wanted to send an email to myself. Outlook. I can select now again. Remember, this outlook.com is different than this Office 365 Outlook. This is for the business one and this is for the personal one. So let's go for the business and let's create and send an email. And here I'll be sending the email for myself. Faraz, okay, and I hope, and I will say that this script and with, I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. Oops. Okay, so let's save it. Now, if you log in from your mobile phone or even if you log in, now this is something really interesting which amazes me always, and I always like to keep it with, okay, sorry, I don't need TikTok right now. Okay, so this is really amazing one. So if you go to Power Automate on your mobile phone, if you could download it from your desktop or anywhere, you can. I'll just try to show it to you over here. Power Automate. I wish I could share my screen on this one. Yes, I could share my screen. Let me see, but I shouldn't lose you guys. Okay, so I think I can't share it right now. Okay, however, I'll just try to show it to you from my mobile phone. Now, if you see this, in this one, we have an option called Van Meetup OS. Okay, so once I click on Van Meetup OS, okay, I get this option to run the flow or to delete the flow. The same options are coming on my mobile also. So this is so amazing. So right now, if I just need to run the script, I have this options. Oh, there is an option in the bottom which is called buttons. If you see over here, this one which is called buttons, and I can just simply I have this Van OS which has been automatically created. If you can see this one Van OS, and as soon as I click, you can keep seeing my as well as my screen over here, and I will just make sure that I click on the right button. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, Van OS, and yes, so that's the one which I clicked it, and it's running, and it should work fine properly. Let's see. Done. Boom. So any comments? Did you
No,
like it?
I think that's pretty cool. I do wish that we could actually automate the refresh of the Power Query, but I think that's
Yeah.
time will tell, right? I think they'll get there. They're
Yes.
working their way there, but it's not there yet. So,
Yes.
hey, Faraz, we do have a couple of questions now in the chat window here that I think it probably makes. Oh, look, there's your email to say it's been done too.
Yes.
Perfect. So a couple of questions for you. Mark is asking, given that Excel allows for multi-users simultaneously, does your worksheet allow for this? And if so, what's been your experience in that area with having multi-user in that setup?
Okay, this is a good question, like you're telling me that somebody is updating the sheet and then you are running the script. Is that the question?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so this is an I'll really share you my experience. There was a time where when we need to update the report and simultaneously some users we were having active 13 users that time on that sheet, and we need to update this report immediately. And during the live meeting, we updated the report and it ran really well, and every time I do it like this, and it's really amazing. So you can run. The answer is yes.
Cool. The other question that we've got in here is from Jim, and he's asking about the question of the workbook that you have, as you say, you get a new version that comes down and it overwrites the old workbook. Can you use Power Automate to basically save a backup copy of your workbook as you're going along? Have you done that?
No. What usually the task is that you extract the data from your ERP and you straight away overwrite it. So there is no like putting your old data. But of course, this is something really interesting, and I should look into it.
Yeah,
So what he's saying that he just wanted to keep preserve the copy of that one.
Yeah, well, I think that's the idea, and I mean, I totally get where the question's coming from myself. Is that one of the things that I would like to do with some of these things is when I go to run that script, if I know that it's going to be overwriting all the data, if I want a copy from before that happens, it'll be nice if the workbook would, the script would save a copy of the original workbook and then do the updates. And if a copy
Yeah. So,
exists and
yeah.
I'm just keeping one
Yeah.
version back or
So
something, be able to replace something. So.
yeah. So in this case, when you are triggering it over here, so what you can do is you can create the copy of the script from here from Power Automate. That can be done. So once you're triggering that flow and you are keeping the script, so it creates a copy of that one, and then it will run the script on the new file which is there. But another thing, what I can add it over here, you can use the version history. Whenever you like to go back and see, I always prefer to use version history rather than creating multiple copies. So as you can see, this was the first version what we were working, and then the later on the other version which was there, and this is the current version which we have right now.
Yeah,
So I
I
would
buy that. I buy that, but I'll also say that I mean I certainly know in the accounting industry, like if we're doing a working paper for a workbook, I mean we need to save save the state of a copy at the end of every month because somebody might need to go back to it in 5 months and see it, and they don't want to be
agree,
digging through version history, right? So that
agree.
was a place where I struggled with it, and I know that I did not have success in getting that set up to work, but that just may mean that I don't have enough experience working with this stuff either. So be interesting to know.
Yeah. So what we can do is that we can go to, like, I remember there is a thing in OneDrive where drive DRIV. OneDrive, again, you have OneDrive for business and OneDrive for this. Okay. So what we can do is we can see copy a file. You can use the same one. This is the option, copy file. So this copy file can create the copy of that specific file, and then you can do it. And similarly, it goes for the SharePoint also. SharePoint, and once you click on SharePoint, you can see copy file. So you can copy a file, you can copy a folder, you can create a new folder, or you can just move it to some other folder. You can do all this stuff with that.
Cool.
So then you can run the script. Yes. Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah. Jim's asked a follow-up question. If the workbook saves a newer version, can Power Automate automate it to run on the newer version? Jim, I don't know if you've got a microphone, but I'm wondering if you might want to unmute and just sort of ask and sort of clarify that question just a little bit, because I'm not totally clear on exactly what you're asking in this case here. Are you asking if a user saves a new version, can Power Automate automatically kick off a script to say, hey, run this on the newest version that's been saved? Is that where you're going, or is it something different? And if you do have a mic, feel free to unmute and ask, or if you want to throw something into the chat to confirm one way or another, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things you can do with Office script. Even like you can create a new script. You can script where you can take the image of the document and you can paste it into emails and all those amazing crazy stuff. You can do it. So right now, for this demo, I've just prepared it till here, and this was a real business case which I would like to share it with all of you. And I hope I convince Ken to you on this using with Power Query and Office script. I hope I was successful in that.
Hey, listen. I mean, that's not the way my workflows generally work. So I'm definitely going to have to think and noodle on it a little bit. I tend to be very, very Power Query heavy, as you know,
Yes.
and data model heavy as well. But I do think that there's some interesting things developing in this area, and one day I hope to be involved in it. So Jim is Jim. Unfortunately, Jim can't unmute for some reason. I can't unmute him either. I'm not sure what's going on there. But he says, when the workbook saves a newer version, can Power automate the Office script to run on the newer version of that workbook? So
newer version, yes. So what you can do is that you have to run the script. You have to define the file, because once you are coming to Power Automate, copy a file, so that copy will have a new version of the file. So that ID you need to put it up, and then you need to run that script.
cool.
So whenever you have that, so it can manage to run, and then accordingly you can define over here that specific file name. So right now we have the file name over here, Office D script. So once we have action, I want the script. Not script. Okay. Sorry. It is SharePoint. OneDrive for business. Okay, let's take this one. Let's say that when you copy a file, okay, and when you come to the next step, okay, on the destination, it will give you a file ID, okay, unique ID which is there. So once you're copying it and the new copy what is getting created, you can place it over here. So then in that case, it would run on the the new version of that file.
Yeah, there's also another trigger for when a file is created. So if you're wanting to run a script on a file when it's actually added to the folder, that would be the trigger that I would go for that. And I'll tell you, Jim, I think probably one of the hardest things with Power Automate to wrap your head around from automated flows is trying to figure out which trigger do you need to use in order to get to the objects you need in order to do the automation task that you're trying to get after. But once you experiment with it and find those, then usually you can Often you can unlock things. I shouldn't say usually. I've managed to block myself out a few times, but yes,
So
I
basically,
have had
here,
some
what is
success too.
important? Yeah, so the
So,
main thing important what I feel here, that we have a lot of technologies right now, like we have Power Query, we have Power Automate. We have to see what best suits for your business and for your need. That is the best one. You should see it. Okay, there's Power Query. Maybe the solution is not fitting with the Power Query. So no problem. You can do it with the formulas. There's no harm doing with VBA. There's no harm doing with script. So you have to see what suits best for your business and accordingly you have to place it up because these tools are here to make your life easy, not to make your life disaster. So see what suits best and do it. So there's no shame that okay fine I'm using office script, no I'm not using power query, or I'm using power query I don't know VBA. No, what suits best for you, do that way, make your life easy. And as my Excel guru, Ken, he always says, Power Query is best. Yes, of course it is best. And I
Power
agree
Query is
with
best,
him.
but I can't do some of the stuff that you just did here with Power Query, right? So I mean that's the reality is if the tool's not suited, you find a better one, right? So
Yeah.
there you go. Awesome. Fantastic, Faraz. Thank you. It's great stuff. Do you have, I don't know, do you have any closing slides or anything like that you wanted to run out on this
No,
or
sir, I don't have any
nope?
closing slides.
All right.
I just want to say thank you, and thank you everyone, who has joined over here. And I hope you enjoy this session. You have learned something, and you can definitely, follow my channel, and you can follow my YouTube channel. You can come here, YouTube.com, and I should be Raz. You should be able to. Oh, Shake. Oops, sorry. That's my YouTube channel, Faraz Shaikh Excel Exciting. So you should able to see this one, and you can also visit my website www.excelexciting.com. I'll just put it in the chat so people can easily access it.
Fantastic. And listen, I want to say a big thanks to you, Faraz. For kicking this off at midnight your time. I mean, what is it, 1:30 in the morning your time now? You're insane, my friend, and I love you for it. But I really appreciate you coming and doing this and sharing your knowledge with the group that we have here. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you
Yes,
everybody for joining here. I will be getting the recording up in the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll post on Meetup when it's there. And don't forget to sign up for the next meetups that we have coming along. And as Mark said, I hope you have the rest of your day off. Yeah, exactly. Time for you to get some sleep because I'm sure you have a job to do tomorrow.
no,
So,
tomorrow I don't have
oh,
work.
nice.
So it's
Well, there you
holiday. So
go.
usually your meetups are coming on my holidays. So it's Friday, Saturday is holiday. So that's why you
Ah.
see me up sometime on your meetups. I'm coming and joining.
Perfect. That makes sense then. That makes sense. All right. Well, you still need sleep, man. You can't live up, at midnight all the time. So thanks again for coming, bud. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you again. Thank you, everyone else, for coming. We'll shut things down for now, and we'll catch you at the next one.